Oh, there we go. Hi.
Fix the audio here. Say something again.
Hello.
Perfect. God, scheduling's a bitch, ain't it?
Yeah, we've been bouncing around for a few
Yes.
days now. Yeah. Well, it's good to be here, I guess.
Hell yeah, dude. No, I've really wanted to get your experience with it. So um, just because you know, probably similar to you, I was inspired by Destiny that looking at my municipal stuff going on, I got a election in October in my city.
Oh wow. We had a state primary yesterday, actually.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah. And general in November, of course.
I'm Canadian, so I've already had I'm in the big one. So Ontario just had its provincial, functionally state, same thing, election, and yeah, that was disappointing. I would have liked to be more involved, but
Gotcha.
gotta.
What was the out? You said the outcome was disappointing.
Yeah, so I'm left leaning. Um, who we got was our Conservative Party,
Oh yeah.
and they're slowly but surely trying to privatize healthcare stuff in my province, and I don't
Yeah.
know if they'll succeed. I sure as hell don't want them to.
Yeah. You're in a particularly conservative province?
Fuck, right now, yeah. So we had a weird thing go on. Um, our what's it called? So the Liberal Party, which is like center left on social issues, left wing on, or sorry, not left wing, um, center right on economics. They sold off a vast portion of our electricity company, like the state funded sort of shit. And that's fucked electricity for my province pretty heavily. Like costs went up a fuck ton. And
Interesting.
that pretty much killed their chance of getting reelected. I think they were like 3 terms in a row. That shit happened, and then the conservatives just fucking took it by storm.
That sucks. Yeah. I just looked and all the all the established incumbents basically won my primary. Uh for they're like Democrats, but some of them have weird histories of like one of them's being investigated for maybe like self-dealing and uh yeah, I'm just looking through the results now because I actually didn't until this moment. And yeah, I'm wondering how that's all going to turn out, especially with the governor who was appointed by the previous governor who left to be part of the cabinet of Biden. Um, he had some like weird stadium deal where that kind of involved giving a favorable contract to someone he was kind of connected to, and the investigation's still underway, but he got reelected again, and that's kind of annoying, I guess.
Yeah, we had a little bit where there was this like really popular guy. Everyone seemed to like really like him in the city, and things were going well for him for a bit. And then all of a sudden, we started to hear about weird shit to do with his wife, a possible murder,
Wow.
and I don't think he killed anybody, but kind of what ended up coming out of it is we think that he may have had something to do with a sketchy situation with somebody who um, died mysteriously. On the
Someone
other
else who
hand,
wasn't his wife.
yeah, so him and his wife are tight on this. Like they're fine. They're together in this case.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
thought she was dead for some reason. Never mind. Okay.
all good, my dude. Um, But what he did actually get caught on was fucking extortion charges.
Hmm.
Like proper extortion. Like undeniable, and it's like Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow. Who was he extorting?
um I think I think it was a business person in the town. I don't think it was like just a regular person. Sorry, average, I should say.
Huh.
So we've had a little bit of a wacky history thus far.
For um for the treasurer, there was a guy who had like moved money into the wrong places, and like I guess he kind of fixed those issues, but also like he didn't report an interest he had in a company uh as
Oh
part
no.
of law, and was called out for it at one point. And he was running for treasurer against this one guy, and I actually, it's funny enough, I have this one friend who actually like works for his campaign from high school, from cross country. I didn't ask him about why he was why he liked that guy, but I was just comparing their websites or whatever, and I decided to vote for the other guy. But the guy who was like running as mayor of a town and maybe mishandled money a couple of times, he's the one who actually ended up winning apparently.
Oh damn.
But in my state senate race, uh, for the General Assembly of Rhode Island, uh, there was this guy who was there was two people running. There was a lady, who had some sort of local like, I don't know if it was town council or some sort of experience. And then there was this
Mm.
guy who had like vague stuff on his website, supportive of shit that I like, but also like he was endorsed by the incumbent. And while his opponent, when I emailed asking them about like what they believed about shit, she responded, but this guy didn't. And then I was actually able to like call his opponent, and she actually like talked to me about like what she believed and what she wanted to do and shit. So I didn't like that guy, so I voted for the lady, and the lady actually ended up winning. So that's good news, I guess.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big old well, I shouldn't say shit show necessarily. I haven't looked into stuff enough just yet, but there is a the incumbent, you know, usually has the advantage, and it looks like we don't have any incumbents running in our a bunch of our shit right now. So like there's a whole bunch of positions in our like city councilors that are completely open, along with our actual mayor. And
Have you ever
it,
tried to like look up a city council race? Like these people have basically like no information about them ever. It's like what do I even do like with these Google searches?
that's so I had one person who looked like she was actually like with her and another older lady counseling for not counseling canvassing for themselves um for a counselor position, and she was telling me a whole bunch about how to access our local um town hall meetings and shit. And because of COVID it being primarily online, apparently there's this whole ass what's the word I'm looking for, archive of all of it. I gotta get reach out to her to see to see what, actual people who are up in the vote, what they believe in shit. Because I like that idea for the emailing. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but getting like what they pushed for on the floor is, I think, something that's gonna be really important to actually like, hey, what's your deal?
Yeah.
Ghosted.
And actually, that was one of the reasons why there was this guy. I used to live in a town called Woonsocket in northern Rhode Island, and it was like a pretty shit town. There was a lot of conservative weirdos. There was a conservative radio host guy that all the town council was friends with, who said crazy shit like, "Oh, what's wrong with being a white nationalist? I'm white and a nationalist too." And we had a lot of shit about that. But I actually got on that guy's radio show and argued with him. It was pretty fun. Uh,
Oh fuck yeah.
I have a video of it, but actually, I don't even remember if it was like special enough for me to like want to post it. But I tried to get
Hmm.
on the actually. Well, I'll tell you about the other radio host from that same network later because that's relevant to like what I'm doing later today. But in 2018, I was like researching town council races for the first time, and I found it really irritating. But this one guy named Alex Kithas actually emailed me back and fucking said, "I'll meet you for a fucking cup of coffee." And I was like, "Holy shit, what's this guy?" So I did. You know, he was very progressive Bernie type, and so was I. So I hit it off. So I voted for him. He won that town council, but like all the conservatives kept like bullying him. They literally like because he tried to make a legislative thing where he like condemned the radio host guy who said shit about white nationalism as if it wasn't a big deal. They voted down his fucking bill and they made a new bill saying that he was virtue signaling and like dumb or whatever, and they actually passed it. So that was fun. And he did
God, what the fuck?
he wasn't able to get a town council, but it's funny. I actually went to a town council meeting to like stand up for him, and they have their videos that they post on Facebook afterward. Uh, and after I did that, like they have the fucking Facebook page for the town council is run by the same conservative guys who don't like Alex and then who didn't like me. Kept like bombarding the threads with shit. Whoa, he lives with his Bob. Where does he work? Ah, he sucks. Bob, dumb jacket. This is like so like they're just like petty old people like trying to like get a rise out of me. So I
Jesus
fought with them
Christ.
until I was like banned from the town council page. I think from for that town. And Alex took me out to dinner later that day. He will make a platform that is way ambitious. Like in the state, I think he was like I went door knocking for him actually in Woonsocket again, like few weeks ago, just so I could go out and door knock for someone, and because his opponent fucking sucked ass. Um,
Oh
so,
good lord.
yeah, so I did that, and the platform that I was door knocking for was like 19 an hour minimum wage. I was like, dog, we can't even get 15. Like, I'm sure mathematically it makes sense somehow, but I don't know if this is gonna work. And it was like on the flyer, it was like including for tipped workers. And I was like, I feel like we've had like arguments where like even tipped workers don't want to like change to stable income because some of them make out, but like. I don't know how I would even argue with someone about some of these things. It was I can't even think of the other things that were on there, but I think that was the one that stood out to me. Like 19. Do you think like I feel like that's gonna be like even if I agree with it, it's gonna be something that you're gonna get attacked for sure. Um, but when I was door knocking in Woonsocket, it wasn't at all like when I door knocked in Omaha with Steven's group or when I door knocked in Columbus, Georgia. When I was door knocking in fucking Rhode Island, Woonsocket, there was like basically no one answered ever. There was like two people. There was like three or four people who answered. One of them said they were moving anyway. One of them was really positive actually. And although he didn't really seem to know too much about politics, he's like, "Yeah, wow, that sounds cool. Thank you for telling me." I was like, "What do you care about?" He's like, I don't this I guess. Oh, the thing on the flyer. Yeah, that sounds good." But yeah. And then a lot of people were like, "I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about my opinions. Have a good day. Goodbye." A couple of people on my list actually had the opponent's yard sign up already, so I didn't talk to them. But yeah. It was interesting trying to knock doors in that area. Very interesting. Actually, he had me knock doors as well 2 years before. Except instead of sending me to like the normal neighborhoods, he sent me to the projects, and that was like I literally got like no answers from anyone, and I think I got one lady to answer, and then I just literally ambushed people at an ice cream truck, and that's how I got a couple signatures to register people to vote.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Oh fuck, that's another thing I gotta
yeah.
look into. the registering to vote in the city, because I know that shit's weird.
Yeah, I think generally for us, I don't know if it's different for you guys. You just have to vote to you have to register in general, and then you can vote in any like scope of election, like state or local or whatever. But yeah, he was trying to get us to get people to register to vote more. I don't know if he was expecting more people in the projects to answer their door for the random kid who was dressed too nice, walking around with a clipboard. But very interesting. Yeah,
Oh well, I can definitely see like going around in there and shit being just like a different experience.
yeah, it was definitely a different experience for sure. Uh, we just didn't get too much. We didn't get too many people responding to us. You know.
So so to get into, I can't remember what I put my actual fucking questions for you, but think of a few of them off the cuff. Um, so for the people who you actually like door knock, canvas, whatever fucking word we want to use for, um, did you talk to them specifically usually? Like did you do any of this just kind of ad hoc without talking to any representatives?
Well, so I've only really door knocked for Alex, and then for the Destiny stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
personally met Alex over a cup of coffee, like I told you, when I emailed him one day. I was actually going to, and I think it's like the 27th. I was going to drive down to Pennsylvania to door knock for Fetterman, uh, who was running against Mehmet Oz. Mostly because I've hated Oz long before it had anything to do with politics. I think when I got into college, I learned about anti-vaxxers. I hated Dr. Oz uh,
Oh yeah.
for a long time. But also I heard that that was an important like swing state election. But now I guess it's sounding both like that election is going to be won by the Democrat anyway. Like it's getting less likely that Oz is going to win. But also I've heard that like phone banking is basically just as effective. So I might as well do
Oh.
that instead. Because I was trying to ask people on like Facebook, like I was trying to ask my friends, hey, who wants to come to Pennsylvania with me? And I didn't exactly get a lot of people biting. So I didn't want to fucking drive down on my own. I was phone bank, you know.
Yeah, phone banking is definitely keep that one in mind. I don't know how many motherfuckers even do that shit if it's not for the parties and what have you, because here at least I've heard it varies a few places depending on where you are. But I know that in in my city we don't have any of our candidates tied up with any of the larger political parties. And I know that the larger political parties do a decent chunk of phone banking, but I
I think
haven't gotten any of that individually from like city council people.
right. I think I phone banked like once in the past for Bernie during the 2020 primary or something. Or maybe it was 20. I don't even know. I don't remember what I would have phone banked for in 2018. Well, I'm gonna grab water from the other room.
Go for it.
I've got a question for you guys.
What's up?
My question is, why do you think that there's some people out there in the world that prefer animals over humans? Like literally prefer and like think that animals are better than humans.
Um, so we're talking about something specific at the moment. Can we put a pin in that and hop back on it maybe? Because
Yeah.
we're just talking specifically about his experience with canvassing.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's good.
Awesome.
But that is still a very interesting question.
No worries. Yeah, I didn't know what you guys I heard something about phone banking, but I don't know what that is.
Peace in the Middle Earth. Um, yeah. So, canvassing in my state was nothing like uh And also, the thing is, if I was the canvas in my own state, like, the Democrats always win in my state anyway. Like, what would be the point of me going out and knocking doors? Unless it was for someone who I liked better in the primary or something. Um, and I also like I don't know if it's an East Coast thing, but like people don't want you to knock on their doors and they don't answer the way that they did when I went to Columbus, Georgia, with Destiny's little group. Uh, you had pretty nice people that was knocking doors for. Uh, Sometimes you would get like an old man who's like, "Get the fuck out of here," and sometimes you would get like the guy who was clearly a Trump supporter who's like, "Okay, listen, just get through your spiel really quick. I don't have a lot of time for this." But like, you had a lot more response rate, even on the day where it was like blizzarding. Like you had had a couple people feel bad for me. Like, do you want to step in just for a minute while you talk? You look like you're like frozen to death. uh, and you know, I don't know if people in the Midwest are just nicer in the South are just nicer in general, but because we also did Omaha, of course. Actually, the blizzard was in Omaha, not in Georgia. But yeah, it was interesting running around Georgia and door knocking. But also, there was I remember this one house that was like on a street, kind of in a kind of rural area. Uh, but at the end of the street, it was like a dead end, and there was this house that I was supposed to knock on that was literally like set up with like wooden like slabs that were kind of unevenly like nailed together. It was literally like a shack with like a door that didn't like cover the whole doorway. And I was like, what's going on here? Was there like house destroyed before? Was it always like this? I almost felt like it was gonna like fall over when I knocked on it. So like it was
That's the first thing I thought of. Jesus.
yeah, it was very interesting. And like they had like 12 cats just running around in a circle outside. Like they were like partially in the woods and like a little school of cats running around and this guy was like out there like playing with them, I guess. I almost felt awkward like I was intruding like hello,
Hmm.
voting by the way. It's very interesting. That was really the only house I saw that was like that in that area. It's wild. Um, and and then I remember while we were at the group after we were recouping after a day of door knocking, there was this one guy who came up and was like arguing with the group, and we were all pretty polite about it, which was good. We didn't get like super Taliban on them. Like argue with us about what we were doing and how he didn't like Democrats or something. We were just sitting on the benches, talking to him. It didn't last very long, but it was so funny. It was so funny though. I think I don't know if it was the first day door knocking, but I had the guy who was driving me around because he was the guy with the car. Uh, I was like, "Can you take me to like the T-Mobile store? I want to get the right charger for my phone because I don't have it right now to make sure my phone doesn't die." I walk into the T-Mobile, I buy a charger, and I'm walking out, and fucking Melina's walking into the store. I'm like, "Oh, hello." She's like, "Hi." Walk back, and she was at the group later. She was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Hi, I'm John, by the way. Nice to meet you." It was pretty funny. To like what I didn't even I don't even think I don't even know if I knew that she was gonna be there. It's pretty funny. But I
Oh fuck.
while the guy was driving me to the next neighborhood, I literally pulled up a street. I'm like, "Hi, I actually just saw you at the store. Hello." Just
Hey there.
get her attention in chat. It was she's very nice lady. And then I saw her again, of course, at Omaha. It was very nice. And in Omaha, while we were at the hotel, um, and then we went out to door knock again, for the cross country coach. I didn't even know he was a cross country coach until I was already on my way. That I liked that because I did cross country. It's very nice.
Hmm.
And then we were door knocking for him. Uh, we mostly had positive responses. I am trying to remember because I remember there was like some store that had some problem with our door knockers. I feel like I was in the general area of a store. I don't know if it was the same one where like someone said we've already had a bunch of people knocking. Go away. I don't know if I ever interacted with the people who like had a big issue with us. Uh, but if I remember, it was like mostly people who had a problem with us came from the Chimera Snipes campaign, and then there was like the socialist people who were online. Am I remembering this right? It was so it was so
I remember hearing about that shit. Yeah.
yeah, it was so weird. Because I was actually planning on returning on another flight back to do another round of door knocking when that was happening. And the idea that all these people had a problem with us, like, it was so fucking stupid. It made me really mad that a bunch of losers like that were able to, like, destroy everything I had tried to put some effort into. Like, literally flying myself out to knock doors. One time in a blizzard that was so cold I had to, at one point, risk bursting into flames by walking to a church to warm my hands for a little bit. That morning was rough, but the afternoon was much better for some. And also we in the morning we kind of like wandered off on our own streets until we decided in the afternoon, hey, we should literally just like stick with the car because we're having a rough time right now. We met up at a cafe after a really rough morning, got some warm stuff, and said, "All right, let's do this a little smarter now." Oh, that morning, some guy walked up to me and interviewed me and asked me questions. I don't even know who or what they were from. Uh, but they were like, "Okay, what are you doing here? Oh, you're knocking doors, blah blah blah." And at one point, they tried to ask me, "Oh, are you what do you say to some people who feel like you guys are outsiders?" So it was like, listen, all we're doing is we're knocking doors and getting people aware of the candidate. There's no reason why, an outsider can't do that for you. It's just getting people to register to vote and stuff. I was like, okay. I don't even know what happened with that interview. After I did it, I was like, wait, was I supposed to do that? Was I supposed to like, you know, give those guys an interview, or was I supposed to direct them to Steven or something? But
I mean,
I think I did pretty
if
well.
you're answering some pretty basic questions, it's like, it sounds like they're innocent enough that that's not the sort of thing that would get you guys in any shit.
Right.
Just, I think the main thing with that sort of stuff is just be careful enough with your words, and there shouldn't be any issue.
Right. I think he even offered me to warm up in his car or give me a ride somewhere after, but I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm trudging. I didn't need to take shelter in the church yet. I don't think I prepared my wardrobe for that weather very well. I think the gloves I was using were literally like the thin like running gloves that I don't even have anymore. That's why my hands were in a really rough shape at one point.
Do you remember what temperature it was in Fahrenheit?
Oh, no idea. I never know that stuff. It was pretty cold. It was pretty wet. It was pretty snowy. It was like fucking marching through Hoth. I was actually gonna share like the image, from like Star Wars Battlefront 2 of like the fucking snowtroopers like in a formation and call that DGG, but I didn't know if that was gonna be like taken as some sort of fascist thing by the loser socialists. So I didn't make that joke.
That is super fucking fair. You never know with that sort of shit, because one fucking small thing,
Yeah.
you'll flip their shit. Good lord. Oh, what?
We had one kid who actually shared the hotel room with me who was like still in high school and 17 and was like there with his dad or something. And he was part of my group, but he actually like kept track of all the number of houses we knocked together. It was very interesting. I forget what he said at the end, but yeah, it was very nice.
God damn.
Yeah. Omaha was interesting for Sure. Very hilly in that area.
Oh yeah, I've I've heard bits and pieces about that part. So for the candidates, you've you've reached out to one state candidate, was it, or was there more
Yeah.
local ones?
Well, I had a personal call with one state candidate, and then I think I
Yes.
sent emails to like all the candidates for governor, but literally like zero of them responded.
And
Uh,
was the candidate who you had coffee with, was that the state candidate?
that the coffee was actually years ago. That was back when I lived in a different town. He was for a town
Gotcha.
council. Yeah. Yeah. And at this, I forgot to mention. So he got kicked out of town council after that election cycle, but now he was running for something. I think maybe state senate for that district later. So I guess I did door knock for him for state senate afterwards, uh, years later because I already knew him. Um, I don't know how I actually don't know how his election yet went yet. I didn't look it up, but
Hopefully well.
yeah, he had on his ticket. I didn't even realize when I was going to knock doors for him. He had like two other people who he was like tying himself to, where it's like I'm also knocking doors for like three people. Where it's like the governor and lieutenant governor. The governor lost, and I'm pretty sure yeah, the lieutenant governor lost too. So I don't. I'm actually gonna check to see if he lost right now. Woonsocket primary. Not primary care. Shut up. Woonsocket primary. Let's see if he won.
Find out.
Oh, looks like he lost.
Ah.
His opponent is running as a Dem, but he is not. I'm pretty sure he's part of like the fucking old group of like conservative guys who like all hated Alex and are really fucking like jackasses. That's interesting that he was running for that he labeled himself as Dem. That's weird. Maybe it was literally to get at Alex in the primary. I don't know, but yeah,
Sounds fucking wacky either way.
yeah.
I guess what like I'm pretty much completely just starting with this shit. So sounds like email is a good direction. And even if nobody fucking responds, you kind of end up with at least getting to know the few people who do or who might respond.
Yeah. Because then you can know then you know who really cares about talking to people and who doesn't for sure.
Who's who's not just like blowing smoke up their own ass, hoping that like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
look what I can
actually,
put on my resume.
2 years ago, I called every fucking motherfucker, like 7 or 8 people. I had a phone call with every motherfucker who was running for my town's council, uh, my new town's council, and even the guy who I didn't like, who was a conservative blowhard who said people wanted to defund the fire department. I even got a call with that guy, but I couldn't call this one fucking incumbent Democrat guy on the town council. Well, they don't label themselves as Democrats, but he was. I couldn't call this one guy who's literally been there forever and is like, I guess, kind of like the main guy on the town council. He had a phone number that wasn't up to date. And he was there in the I guess they had a little town debate that was hard to find on YouTube. So I was able to listen to that, but like he was the only motherfucker who didn't care enough to be talked to. And I was like I only voted for him because I didn't want the conservative guy to get in, but at this point, I feel like I'm gonna be on the YouTube debate. I'm gonna try to catch it. And I'm gonna make in the live question. I'm gonna ask why doesn't Nathan feel like he needs to have up to date contact information for his constituents? Yeah, that guy pisses me off.
love those questions for that sort of shit too,
I
because it's important and it's hard hitting. Like,
I hope that the debate hasn't already happened because the primary just ended and they're in the general. So I hope I catch that before it happens because that would um I have a thing at 2:30. I'll just make sure I don't miss that.
yeah, no problem, man.
Um it's actually funny that you catch me today because today I'm actually going to confront a crazy town council lady at my old high school's town.
Oh fuck.
These townies are legendary for how fucking crazy they are. There's a Facebook page called Our Town North Kingstown, and a former friend of mine had made a parody page called Our Town North Kings Clown. I don't know what happened to that page because I don't think it exists anymore. Just to make fun of the people there, uh, who would like get really nasty about like group of homeless people who were like congregating around a Home Depot or something. I don't remember. There's a whole bunch of different issues with this group. That I don't even remember anymore because it's been so long. But there is this one lady apparently on the town council who decided to shit stir. At first, she tried to get a school committee lady called Jennifer Lima actually recalled from the school committee for quote unquote teaching CRT, which is the favorite thing for
Oh,
conservatives lately in my country, and I'm sure maybe in yours. And what
well, we'll see
actually,
what Peterson has to say about it, and
yeah,
we
of
might have to deal
course.
with it too.
Yeah, and what happened? So this lady talked about teaching honestly about racism, but in relation to her job, didn't talk about CRT. She had a separate from her job. She had like an advocacy website. I don't remember if it was specifically around. I think it was. It was like an anti-racist North Kingstown. Uh, and she has an advocacy page about that. She's a white lady, but she does that. But she actually did, I guess, allegedly, although I couldn't fucking find it, mention CRT on that website. But she said like it's not related to my job. It's not related to like teaching like middle and high school kids. Like it's not relevant, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I actually have my father actually works as a teacher. Well, he was in Oregon for a while because he tried to move out there, but now he's like Antifa and the Proud Boys are fighting too much around there. I want to leave. Also, the people around there apparently really cringe types of progressives, so he wanted away from that. So he came back to Rhode Island, which is great. But he teaches now in the Rhode Island district. And he's like, yeah, people accuse us of teaching CRT all the time. That happened back when I was in Portland, Oregon, but it doesn't happen in Rhode Island. They're full of shit. Uh, like the kind of cringe shit where they're like saying like, oh, the white kids, you have to feel bad about your privilege, blah blah blah. Like it doesn't happen here. They just teach honestly about racism in the past. That's all they do. So
Yeah.
he's like, it's full of shit. And so the town council lady tried to get the school committee lady recalled. It failed. They tried to act. There's like this organization or a PAC called the Gatsby Project that they tried to send it through, and they tried to say that it was a student-led recall effort because I guess two former high school graduates were part of it, but mostly it was being run by adults. It was disingenuous. That they said that. It was like that lady and then a few adults who didn't like it, who were like blowhards.
They were sitting there trying to be like, oh, the kids are protesting against this shit that's going on.
Yeah, there's like I guess two kids who were ass mad about teaching about racism or something from the high school. I guess I don't know.
Good
Um,
lord.
but I wonder what year they graduate. I wonder if it was people from my class. There's at least one girl who I know from my school who would have totally been on board with that. But anyway, Uh, so that failed. So now her new way of shit stirring and getting attention is that she has decided that she is going to claim that teachers are letting students identify as cats and are providing litter boxes for them. So that's been the new thing that she's been pushing. She's been going on local radio shows. There's one dipshit called John DePetro is having her on to talk about how, wow, that's so crazy. They're identified as mentally ill, blah blah blah, and he's playing it up a lot. Um, and she's going, wow, it's really not healthy for the kids. The parents are enabling really unhealthy behavior, and it's really unsanitary. And this is what we need parents to get into the school and get pictures, proof of the litter boxes in the restroom. It's like she's inviting adults into the school to search restrooms for litter boxes and get pictures in like the kids' restrooms. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? Um, Really nasty lady. And so, the school committee lady that she had harassed before came out and said how what she was doing was dangerous and disgusting. Um, and the lady put her phone number out there and asked for pictures of litter boxes. So I texted her to text her just generic pictures of litter boxes and say, hey, can you bring these up at town councils? Hoping that I would be able to go to town council and point out that I was the one who sent it to her and that she hadn't questioned me or tried to verify that I was a student and catch her in a lie to make her look dumb. But she stopped responding, I guess because she picked up on the fact that there was something off about me. Um, yeah.
Fuck, that would be nice though. God damn.
But when I first messaged her, I was like, "Hey, I want to send you some pictures." She started the conversation by walking back the litter box thing because she knew she was lying. Like, actually, the statement from this is that there are no litter boxes, but there are people identifying as cats. So now parents know, and that's really good. But if you have pictures, I guess you can send them. So what I take from that is that she knew she was making up the litter box thing. She claimed that it was from two parents telling her, but I'm pretty sure she just made it up because it's literally like the same lie. Like the same litter box story has happened in New York and Iowa and all these different states where it's like fake stories about litter boxes. Have you heard about this?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It came across my Reddit feed a few times, and I'm like, what? I was weirded out when I saw this once, not several times. Why the fuck is this something that like conservatives are grabbing onto?
Like this is their favorite like fake story now. It's like the libs want your kids to shit in the sandbox. It's like what are you talking about? Um
God.
but yeah, I actually made a YouTube I made a YouTube video reacting to all of it and showing my conversation with her. And I spam posted it from my YouTube onto like all the Facebook townie pages. And actually got like hundreds of views off of it, so I was very happy with that. Um, so now I'm gonna go to the town council meeting today at 5:30 Eastern and try to bully this lady for being a dumb fuck. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully better than it did when I went to one in Woonsocket. It's very interesting. Oh,
Yeah, a lot of that shit needs to be done too.
one of the ways that she actually tried to play it off is that one of the teachers that was there when I was there got in shitloads of trouble for doing naked skin fold caliper tests on students to like test them for basketball, saying that, oh, I'm just measuring your fat, bro. But like he had this question like, are you shy or are you not shy? You're not shy? Okay, take off your underwear. I can get your at your thighs better. And it's like so
Jesus.
he claimed, oh, I had parental permission to do all of this. But I don't think they mentioned the underwear part. And there's two people who are, oh, I guess, raised the legal complaint to him because apparently two people didn't have parental permission and they say that he did something sexual. I didn't get any details about what he did supposedly, but so, but the school committee like basically fired him or got him to go away without making it public what had happened. So another school hired him, and then the allegations came out, and then the other school was mad like that the others that North Kingstown High didn't warn them. So the the lady used this story. Well, they lied about Aaron Thomas sexually harassing kids, so they could be lying about this too. It's like, oh, fuck off. Would you please stop? Imagine being one of those kids who was like sexually harassed by a teacher, and some fucking conservative lady comes along and uses your like tragedy to try to do some culture war shit, lying and saying that there's secret litter boxes in your school. How mad would you be?
It's just it's so detached, it's so deranged. Ugh.
Yeah. It's funny actually. That teacher actually offered to do a test on me, and I was like, "Well, I'm already in cross country. I'm not applying for basketball." Like, I didn't know what to think about at the time. And the other kid who actually was basketball and knew all about it was trying to hint me, "Yo, dude, no, no, no," like, and would drop hints that he was a creep, and I didn't understand like, oh, why, what's going on, but he never explained it to me. He must have thought I was an idiot for like not realizing what that was weird to but yeah, it was very interesting. I was in his comm class where we did like music videos. That's what I had that teacher. Very interesting.
Oh, the fucking the stories of municipal shit is just such a fucking
Yeah.
it's such a whirlwind.
And then there was a story from like the middle school where this other teacher was apparently creepy towards middle schoolers, but I guess all he did was like ask them to dance for him, and just make weird comments. So that's all he's been accused of so far. But so yeah, it's like shit like that.
Little weird on that one.
Yeah. Um, wacky. Very interesting. So I wonder how that confrontation is going to go. My friend is gonna come.
Sounds like your work is cut out for you down there. Good lord.
Yeah, it seemed just my feel from it was that the people in North Kingstown were getting actually. There was a couple people jerking her off, but there was a lot of people who were really sick of her shit. So hopefully she loses the town council election, because I think you're up for election every 2 years. So I think she's up now. Hopefully she gets fucking comes. That's too sexual. Hopefully she gets dumpstered in the next election. And we don't have to worry about her ever again. But I,
Mhm.
I, without knowing anything, I won't hold out hope. You know, you never know with these people.
They shit show half the way down. Good lord. I think it's very interesting to hear a lot of the stories, but aside from that, I think you either directly or indirectly answered all the questions I had. So
Eventually, we got around to them all, huh? Yeah.
was there anything else in particular you wanted to bring up?
Oh, I remember this one cute story where there's this guy named, I think it was Albie, but I might be butchering my memory of that. Or in Georgia, it was like my first really positive, like, wow, man, I was on the fence, but I really like all the information you're giving me. And yeah, I might vote for these guys. Like, here's this like friendly guy who was like, I don't know how involved he was in politics, but he was like really impressed with my shit and he was like really happy and like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll vote for these guys. Oh, the Senate's in the balance, is it? Well, it's really important. I'll actually go out and vote now. It was like really nice. Oh,
Yeah.
the one thing that people were very pissed off about in Georgia was that every time we knocked at doors, they're like, bro, we've had people knocking our doors every fucking day. Can't you put us on a list to say not to knock us anymore? And I asked the people running it about it, and it was like, that's not how it works. We kind of just keep doing it. And I was like, okay, that sounds dumb, but whatever. It was really weird. I might. To be fair, for the response from the people who are running things, I'm probably butchering the nuance of what they actually said, but it really sounded like, no, we can't put them on a list where they don't keep getting knocked on their door over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, great. Very weird.
That is fucking strange, and that's some worth keeping in mind because like the the motherfuckers that you annoy the most are not gonna be very happy. Let alone interested in like voting and all that shit.
They were like literally laughing at us, like, "Oh, here they are again," and they're like, "Listen, we like you a lot, but can you? We need you to stop."
Well, it's good to hear that they were polite. Fuck.
Some people were less polite, but I remembered the people who were polite. You know. Oh, you know what? You know what's really fun when you're door knocking is when you go to knock someone's door, and they're either just getting home from their car or they're just getting into their car, and you don't want to like weirdly walk up to their door right before they drive away. It's like you do this weird thing where you walk by their house until they're gone, then you walk back and you leave the flyer. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture that exact. Oh fuck. Oh, the awkwardness. I used to deliver papers with my little sister, and the memories are starting to come back of that shit.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's a little fun thing. I knocked on one guy's door and it was like, "Sorry, the person you're looking for has moved. Also, I can't vote. I'm a felon." I was like, "Oh, see ya."
Fuck.
That happened to
Homie was
Woodsocket.
honest. God damn.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. He didn't say he was a felon, but I picked up on it. Like that's that would be the only
Gotcha.
reason why, right? Unless I'm wrong. Maybe he was registered somewhere else. Maybe I'm just like assuming. Yeah.
Well, either way, man, I was very interested to hear all of it. Lots of good information, and I will have to be heading out. Good luck on the rest of what you got going on today, dude.
Thank you.